Welcome back, football fans, to the Week 6 Sunday Scoreboard here on Pro Football Insiders. My name is Jeremy Betts with PFI, here to talk through the action from the week that was here in Week 6. Man, it never ceases to amaze me that we can get some dog ugly looking games from a matchup standpoint in the lead up and just to looking at it on paper, right? And then these games just turn into really good football games a lot of the time. And so we had some surprises. We did have some duds, as we always do. But let's get right into it here on the Week 6 Sunday Scoreboard, starting with the London adventure that was the Broncos win over the New York Jets, 13-11. You scoreagami people out there, please tell me if this is a scoreagami. I did not get a chance to check that, but if so, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this score before. 13-11. The Broncos really just outlasted the Jets in an overseas matchup where both teams looked very, very sluggish. The Jets could not do anything. The Jets were leading this game at one point in the fourth quarter with 84 yards of total offense. It was an insanely bad performance for the New York Jets. And the Broncos, they finally come alive on the scoreboard, at least enough to get the win in this one. I don't think Sean Payton's going to be too happy with the overall performance, but it is a win for the Broncos in London. The Cowboys traveled to Charlotte to play the Panthers. This might have been the most exciting game of the day. The Cowboys lose 27-30 to the Panthers. The Panthers win this one on a last-second field goal as time expires, but this is a back-and-forth game with both offenses going off. Rico Dowdle for the Panthers in his revenge game against the Cowboys wins big, 239 total yards in that one. And then George Pickens and Dak Prescott, their relationship and chemistry continues to grow. Pickens with 168 receiving yards and a touchdown in this one. So that was a fun one. Then you had the Rams kind of just outlasting the Ravens. It wasn't a great game from the Rams, but the Ravens are a mess. The Ravens continue to lose. They're 1-5 going into their bye week. The Rams finally were able to kind of pull away a little bit in this one, but they win by 14 points in a sloppy affair. Puka Nacua had an ankle injury that took him out of this game, and then he came back and tried to play a little bit, but there's no guarantee he comes back and plays next week, according to Sean McVay. So something to watch there. The Colts had all they could handle from the Arizona Cardinals this week in a 31-27 win. There were times where it looked like the Colts were going to give this one away, but in the end, Daniel Jones and company made just enough plays, and the Cardinals could not quite get it done with Jacoby Brissett back there behind center, playing quarterback for the Cardinals with Kyler Murray out. That said, the Cardinals had a few injuries in this one. Marvin Harrison Jr. left this game. Obviously, they don't have a running back, at least a starting caliber one that you would like, but they still were able to move the ball and be game for a really good Colts team so far this year. The Colts keep winning, though. They're 5-1. And then we go to Jacksonville, where the Seahawks and the Jaguars had kind of a slugfest. It was mostly Seattle that was not dominant, but they were the force to be reckoned with in this game. The Jaguars were just sloppy, and they were sloppy in their win against Kansas City last week on Monday night. They were sloppy in this one too, and it came back to bite them. Both defenses played pretty well. The Seahawks defense ended up playing better. The Seahawks at one point went on a 20-0 run in this game before the Jaguars scored again to make it a one-score game, but Jacksonville could not get back into the end zone to tie that one up, despite several efforts to do so. The Dolphins get beat by the Chargers 29-27. I should say that the Chargers come back and win this one because the Dolphins had them on the ropes, and this is not a good Dolphins team. There are lots of issues there, but the offense did enough. On the ground, specifically, Devon Achane was unstoppable. He averaged 8 yards a carry in this one and scored 2 touchdowns, but the Chargers end up pulling this one out on the sheer will of Justin Herbert, who continues to have a really stellar season in spite of the injuries up front on the offensive line and the mix and match of receiving weapons that have yet to have gelled completely. Ladd McConkey's best game of the year in this one as well. The Chargers win 29-27 over the Dolphins. The Saints and the Patriots in New Orleans, the Patriots jumped all over the Saints early in this one and then held on late to win the game 25-19. Drake May continues to play really, really well. He's been maybe the most consistent quarterback in the AFC so far. That's not too far-fetched. Obviously, in the NFC side, you've got guys like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and, guys like that who have really taken over the storylines this season. And then you obviously have the regular stand-ins for that conversation, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. But when you look at Drake May, he's right up there with those guys from an efficiency standpoint and a decision-making standpoint. He's playing really well. A quarterback that is playing well is the Saints starting quarterback, whose name is escaping me, for Spencer Rattler, excuse me, guys. He's playing pretty well as well. He's like a top 15, 16 quarterback in the league right now, and he kept his team in it in a game that they should not have been that close in. Kind of to finish out some things, the Raiders outlast the Titans in an ugly affair there. They get their second win of the season. The Titans are just bad. They're so bad. It's not even funny. Sorry, Titans fans. Raiders fans, you're not much better. So just don't get too high on the horse on this one. The Buccaneers outlast the 49ers. The Buccaneers are my lock of the week for the playoffs. I've been doing that for Pro Football Insiders. They just keep winning, and their division, I think they have a stranglehold on that. So they keep winning. Baker Mayfield was Baker Mayfield. He lost a bunch of weapons in this game and still made plays with the guys that were there and made plays on the ground himself. The 49ers are just so banged up, they could not hang in this one. The Packers beat the Bengals 27-18. The Bengals had no business being even that close. It was kind of an ugly affair from the Packers at points, but Josh Jacobs ran all over the Bengals in this one. And then the Chiefs beat up on the Lions. They really did. This game was the Chiefs from start to finish, it felt like, and they improved to 3-3. The Lions fall to 4-2. It's not the end of the world, obviously, for the Lions, but the Chiefs kind of reproved to us that they belong in the conversation with the best teams in the league, even despite their ugly and weird loss to Jacksonville last week. So the Chiefs are back. The Lions are going to be just fine. Bye week teams this week were the Texans and the Vikings. We did not see those games. We still have two games tomorrow. The Bills at Falcons at 7:15, and then the Bears at Commanders at the 8:15 game. Those two are going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for those. We'll have more on PFI for all of that. Until next time on the Sunday Scoreboard for Pro Football Insiders, bets out.